Okay, let's talk about prophecy. Revelation 21. Then I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth had passed away, and there was no sea. I have had the privilege of knowing a lot about prophecy, of learning a lot about prophecy. Um, the book of Revelation, obviously, my guide has a connection to that, and the Nostradamus, and um, I've had the privilege of learning the Hopi prophecy and also the Seneca and different tribal prophecies in the Americas. So I have a really good grounded understanding of what prophecy is and how it manifests. So I want to share that with you because there's so much misinformation and misuse of prophecy that it is starting to really bother me. So I want to clear it up and know that prophecy, first of all, prophecy is a way shower. It shows us where we are in the progress of human evolution, spiritual growth, and so forth as a collective. So it's a collective way shower. When this thing happens, then we have met this point on the road of our evolution. And that's really what it's about. The book of Revelation is a little bit different, and it's different because it isn't a global prophecy. It isn't, um, I know all the interpretations from all the different sects of religion, of Christianity, and so on. And people who aren't even Christian believe in the prophecy in the book of Revelation. But let me tell you something. The book of Revelation is a map of human consciousness through its evolutionary points. So the beast is part of you. The Lady of Babylon is part of you. All these aspects of the self going through a evolution, a healing, and a releasing, and a new understanding, and a greater awakening and awareness that brings in the new heaven and the new earth. Also, so to me, the book of Revelation is teaching you how to manage and maneuver and grow through the darkest times of your life, the darkest moments, and the darkest recesses of your consciousness. So that is a different take than all these terrible things are going to happen and we're all going to perish and be born anew idea of the book of Revelation. It's just not what it is. It's much more complex, it's much more symbolic, and it's much heavier and personal than what is taught about it. The other thing, like with the traditional prophecies that people are spouting right now, they're more about we will, they all have something in common. And one is that we will all go through some things, terrible, terrible things, and then we will be enlightened. We will grow. We will be, the world will become anew. And that is a good thing, right? That the world will become anew, that we're on a path of healing and understanding and becoming more unified humanity. And so since it all goes that way, my understanding is that we don't have to go through those terrible things to get there. We don't have to go through the destruction of our systems. We don't have to go through the tragic hardships of war, of genocide. We don't have to go through those things. And the reason why we go through them is to awaken our humanity. It's not to prove that we're, if we survive it, we're better than the other person who didn't. It's not to prove that we are somehow chosen. It's simply to awaken our humanity towards one another. That's it. That's why terrible things happen on a personal scale. T- you know, when you go through terrible things, you are learning humility, you are learning compassion, you are learning, the best part of being human is to ask for help and to give help. You are learning that we are all one race, we are all one family, we are all one being, and to hold each other in the light, to carry ourselves through. That's the outcome. That's what we want. And so we don't have to go through all that crap to have that outcome. We can be in that feeling of unity with humanity without going through the tragic, without going through the traumatizing, without going through the hardships. So let's do that. Now, when somebody says they're a light worker, or they're bringing the light in, or they're, talking about the light, what you're really talking about is divine, unconditional love. That's what we're bringing. Divine, unconditional love. Okay? So, to the whole of humanity, to all the races, all the sexes, all the nationalities, all the cultures, all the everything, we bring in absolute unconditional love, what I call divine love, because it is divine. It is the love without ego or agenda. It is pure grace. It is absolute mercy, compassion, and gratitude, and humility. So it has all these extraordinary energies within it. And we can be that now. We don't have to go through the next horrific war and the many that are going on right now. We don't have to go through all those terrible things. We can hold compassion and bring in divine light through our energy field right now without all that hardship. When we go through hardship, or someone we love goes through hardship, or we hear a hardship for that another person is going through, it opens us up to compassion. It opens us up to that divine energy to send to them, to feel for them. If you hear of a child that's harmed, you are open, you are reaching out, or you are sending compassion just automatically, unless you have, a lot of psychic wounds and traumas. You normally would. Normal, healthy people will send compassion when they hear of a devastating event for another person, any other person. So the things that divide us, whether we're divided by sexuality or by race or culture or religion or whatever, all those things are a disguise to keep us from getting there, to stop us from feeling compassion for other people. And even if someone has harmed a lot of people and all that, and you have trouble feeling compassion for them, I don't blame you. Like, it's a hard mountain to climb. But so as we evolve into a higher level of consciousness that sees all of humanity as one family, then and feels that desire and love for each other that will take us to the next level of human consciousness, because we are going to evolve there. That is certain. No matter what, we are going to evolve into the next level of consciousness, that compassion is key and intuition guides, and our connection to divinity is constant and present in our life. That's where we're headed. So all the prophecies share that. And we don't, so since we don't have to go through the hardships to get there, hopefully, as a light worker, you already hold that light. You already hold divine light. And this is why I talk a lot about connecting with spirit guides and working with your spirit guides and all the tricks and tips to work with spirit guides, is because every time you connect with your spirit guide, you're connecting with that divine light. They are infinitely connected to divinity. And so you are connecting to the highest level of consciousness, the highest level of being, the absolute love, the mercy, the compassion, the humility, and all of the things that create an expansion of awareness, expansion of your being. Okay, so as you're expanding your being and growing in the light of compassion and divine love, the world heals like magic. So that's why I say also heal yourself and the world heals. Now then, like I said, there are a lot of people that you don't want to feel compassion for, that you really resent or don't like or even hate because they are harmful. Usually we hate the people that are harmful, okay? Unless we're jealous. That's a different thing. Okay, so what I suggest that you do is that you sit every day in divine love. Now there's a lot of different ways to do this. So even if you bring in divine love, unconditional love, for 1 minute, or compassion for 1 minute a day, you are opening up the pathway for humans to become that wholeness, to have wholeness on earth, and not just wait till we die to have wholeness, or not wait till we ascend, or not wait till we, meditate for 40 days and 40 nights and bring it in. So we're going to do it by little bits and pieces. So there's different ways to do this. So think about something that you love and unconditionally love, like a flower. Let's say you unconditionally love a rose. Every time you see a rose, you think, oh, it's just so beautiful. I love that rose, right? So then you're going to sit and meditate on the rose and the way you feel about that rose for just a minute a day. You can also, and I think this is even easier than that, is to sit for a minute a day with your spirit guide. And even if you don't know your guide, you have no idea who they are, you don't communicate with them, you've never channeled them, you don't know anything about your spirit guide at all, and you've never even felt that you had one, doesn't matter. You can still do this. This is easy. So what I'd like you to do is sit quietly. You don't have to go into meditation. You don't have to do the Om or the breathing or anything. Just sit quietly and ask your guide, and you're going to say it like this. You just can say it out loud, or you can say it telepathically to your guide. I ask my guide, and only my guide, to bring me the feeling of unconditional love. And just sit and wait. Just sit and wait. And allow your guide to bring it in, to fill up your body, to fill up your heart, to fill up your mind. They're going to fill up your whole being with unconditional love. And do that every day until you start getting adjusted to that energy and you start being able to unconditionally love other people. I'm not saying you're going to unconditionally love other people 24/7, or that unconditionally loving someone makes you vulnerable to them taking advantage of you. Or you have to give up all your things to them because you love them so much, or you have to, erase your boundaries. No, unconditionally loving someone means that they also have to step up, that they also have to act right, that they also have to behave in a manner that's kind and loving. And those are the people that you want in your life. You don't want to give away your power to people who aren't kind, who aren't supportive, who are mean, just because you're unconditionally loving them. You can unconditionally love out of far. I do it all the time. I do it most of the time. Because, there are people that will hurt you if they feel like you're unconditionally loving them. And they'll say, well, I thought you loved me. I thought you'd do that for me. No. No. As a matter of fact, unconditionally love gives you the strength and confidence to tell people no. It gives you the strength and confidence to know that your being is also part of that unconditional love. That boundaries and saying no and allowing people to make mistakes and not overgiving, not interfering with their life is also sacred. So you are also doing only what works for you, only what energy you have to expend, only what energy and gifts that you want to offer those who ask and who can really benefit. Because if someone doesn't ask for your help, it's not likely they will benefit from it. Keep that in mind too. So being in harmony with divine love and unconditional love takes like less than a minute a day, if that. Like, just again, sit quietly, invite your guide and only your guide, your spirit guide, who's here in divine love for you all the time, who never leaves your side. Ask them to bring that love into your being on all levels of consciousness and sit with that until you feel it. If you don't feel it, then that means that you just need a little more practice with it. You just need to do this more often. You just need to keep at it until you do start feeling it. And you will awaken and open up. So I shouldn't say until, but when you can do that, you're inviting the light into the earth. You are awakening human consciousness to this beautiful energy of compassion, of of always being divine, always being connected to your divinity, of healing the earth. Everything else flows from that. Everything. And that's why all the things that go wrong in the world go wrong in the world. We are learning how to have compassion and divine love and unconditional love and be supportive of one human family. Doesn't matter your gender, doesn't matter your race, doesn't matter the culture, doesn't matter the nationality, doesn't matter the religion, doesn't matter the belief system, it doesn't matter blah, blah, blah. We're all one humanity. And when we accept that and act upon it and bring in that divine energy from the heavens, we are in harmony with the new earth, with the new heaven. And all the rough seas and all the difficult parts that were are no longer. So let's do this. You got it. It's easy. Practice with it and let me know how you do. Take care, everyone.